Welcome to the show. You're watching the Fox Business Network. We begin with former CBO director, look who's back with us, Douglas Holtz-Eakin. You know, it's great to have you back on. The longer infrastructure takes to pass, the more it falls apart. Now there's talk it won't even hit Congress until August. They want a Memorial Day. And now the misleading stuff that Democrats are doing, whipping fastballs by the American people, Doug, it's really bad. It's full of slush funds and tax hikes and more.
Yeah, this is not an infrastructure bill. That's now well established. That word's lost all meaning in this discussion. It's a big spending bill. It's not going to create jobs. It's called the American Jobs Plan, but it's not going to create jobs. There are going to be big tax increases. They're going to claim that rich corporations are going to pay them and they won't affect you, but they will. The evidence is that the economy will grow more slowly. Some of those companies will head overseas to better climates. And what we'll end up with is fewer increases in productivity, less in the way of real wages, less in the way of growth of standard of living. So this is a big government bad growth bill, and it's not much more complicated than that.
You know, the middle class and lower class could get fleeced because now President Biden may increase the federal gas tax. The federal gas taxes could go up, enact a new mileage tax where the government tracks and taxes every mile you drive. They're talking about monetizing the power grid. Are we talking about a new federal electricity bill?
There's everything in this. So, you know, you could call this a Green New Deal bill because there's a lot of clean energy and climate initiatives in it. You could call it a manufacturing bill because we're going to have some industrial policy and domestic manufacturing. It's a worker training bill. It's a big home health expansion, so it's a big social welfare bill. The issue I really think that comes to fore is the administration keeps talking about how they're willing to negotiate with Republicans. But that negotiation is just about which taxes are they going to pick. There's no negotiation on this enormous menu of new spending programs. And that's where the real problem starts. Once you spend the money, you have to pay for it somehow.
You know, people are getting fed up with the administration trying to pressure the American people to believe that things like federal paid child care leave is infrastructure. The border is all about infrastructure. The White House didn't increase the Homeland Security spending for the border. So the fastball is being whipped by the American people, or trying to. It's coming fast and furiously, but people have had it. Let's watch former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie on this. He says President Biden is, quote, lying.
Oh, he's right about the use of the language. I mean, let's face it. There's $400 billion in here for increases in home health and Medicaid. That's not infrastructure. At a basic minimum, an infrastructure should be an investment that yields returns somewhere in the future. That's just spending. That's just consumption of health services. That's all there is to it. And you can go through the bill and find lots and lots of examples of this. You know, people have tallied up different components. They got to maybe 6% on roads and bridges. If you're super generous, you can get to maybe a quarter of it being some sort of infrastructure and quasi-infrastructure. But to use that word to make it look more appealing is to just a flatly attempt to mislead. And to try to jam it through by Memorial Day so that people can't look at the details, I think was the basic strategy. The longer this sits out there, the more people are going to stare at it and say, no, I don't think so. And that's a problem for the administration.
Yeah, let's look at this, too, another big fact check. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg admits he and the administration falsely overstated the jobs created in it. Let's watch this.
It doesn't, as you said last Sunday, create 19 million jobs. Again, Secretary Buttigieg, why mislead folks?
Well, you're right. I should have been more precise.
You should have been more precise. How about just telling the truth? Because 2 million is a big difference from 19 million. And Moody's Analytics even had to correct them, saying you guys got it wrong. It's false.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. When you cite somebody's study and you do it wrong and they have to come out and say, no, that's not what we said. This is 2 million. And I want to just say, from my point of view, I think that 2 number is very optimistic. That includes a lot of things that would be recovery from the pandemic. This isn't going to do that. That was what the $1.9 trillion was supposed to do. This is supposed to be long-term economic growth, productivity. Doesn't have any of that in it. So we're going to have some problems.
All right, Douglas Holtz-Eakin, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you.